My name is Nicklas, I'm a certified physiotherapist and I got a bachelor's degree in sports science, and in this video I'll show you how to actually fix Achilles pain using exercise. I'll also show you if insoles are worth the money and give you the single best exercise to remove pain. Now there's nothing more frustrating than that stiffness in the Achilles every time you wake up in the morning or go for a run. And after dealing with this problem myself for the past 6 months, I went through all the research and resources I could find to come up with the best protocol possible and avoid spending time and money on the gimmicks that does not work. And what I found actually surprised me a bit. So, first things first. According to a scientific review from 2020 that looked at the best practices of getting rid of Achilles pain, there are 3 stages that we need to go through before returning to full training: a recovery phase, a rebuilding phase, and a return to sport phase. So let's start with what to do in the recovery phase. It's usually 2 to 5 weeks, and the goal of this phase is simple. We want your calf muscles to get strong again, and we want your Achilles tendon to handle load without pain. So the scientists in the review recommend doing 3 times 15 repetitions of the following exercises every single day: 2-legged heel rises standing on the edge of a step, 1-legged heel rises standing on the edge of a step, eccentric heel rises standing on the edge of a step, and sitting heel rises. So, as you might have guessed, the gold standard exercise for Achilles pain is heel rises, and you'll do this exercise just in different progressions in all the phases. Now, on top of that, the review also recommends quick rebounding heel rises for 3 sets of 20 repetitions. As your pain gets better and your calves get stronger, we slowly make the exercises harder. So we can do more reps, move through a bigger range of motion, or move faster. Now, if running still hurts during this phase, you can do some cross-training like swimming, or you can run in deep water. This will let you practice running without putting too much stress on the tendon. At the same time, we need to check the rest of your leg. Like, are your ankles strong? Are your feet strong? Do your hips control your leg well? You see, strong foot and ankle muscles help you push off the ground, while strong hips and knees help your legs move the right way. Because of this, I actually added one more step. I stand on a balance board every time I brush my teeth. So, in the morning and in the evening. This helps me strengthen the control over my feet and my hips without needing any more time in the day. I would also recommend adding some single leg Bulgarian split squats and some single leg deadlifts just to strengthen the surrounding muscles as well. Now, once you can do this program with a pain of 2 to 5 or less on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being no pain and 10 being extreme pain, you're ready to move into the rebuilding phase. The goal here is to lift heavier, start running again, start jumping again, and keep helping the tendon heal. This phase usually lasts around 3 to 12 weeks, depending on how you respond. Now we add weight to your heel races. You can wear a backpack with weight in it, you can wear a weighted vest, or you can use a gym with machines like a leg press or a Smith machine. Personally, I like to do it at the gym because I find it easier to add load, but you don't have to. When you can do 3 sets of 15 reps easily, you add more weight. Now, what you do is that you lift heavy 3 times per week and then do lighter heel races at home every day. And here's the important part. Even if your calf feels strong again, don't stop with the heel races. Your muscle might feel ready, but your tendon is still healing. Keep doing them. Now, we also add jumping. So start with 2 legs and then move on to 1 leg as the pain gets better. Now, before you fully return to running and sport, pain needs to be very low. So when you walk during the day, pain should be about 1 or 2 or less out of 10. You can also test it with hopping. If you can't do 20 single leg hops without pain going above 2 out of 10, you're probably not ready to run yet. I know how hard it can be, trust me, but be patient. Strong first, and then fast. The program in this phase looks like this. You still perform exercises every day, but with heavier load 2 to 3 times per week. So we still do 3 times 15 reps of one-legged heel raises, standing on the edge of a step, but just add weight 2 to 3 times per week. We also do eccentric heel rises, sitting heel rises, and quick rebounding heel rises. Now we just add some plyometrics like 3 times 20 jumps as well. First with 2 legs and then with 1 leg when you can do it without pain. When you have minimal symptoms, maybe some but not daily morning stiffness, and you can run without difficulty, it's time to move on to the final phase. The goal here is to get you back to full sport and keep your Achilles healthy. But this is also where many people make a mistake. Your pain might feel gone and you might feel ready, but your tendon is still healing. And if you rush back too fast, the injury will come back. So, how do we do this the smart way? First, we check how your tendon feels. Does it hurt during training? Is it stiff or swollen after? And how does it feel the next morning? The next day matters a lot. If pain or stiffness is worse the day after training, you did too much. So, we use something called a pain rule. It simply means that pain during activity should stay low, and it should not get worse the next day. If it gets progressively worse during exercise, or you get some sharp pain, or it does not disappear afterwards, you did too much. And by the way, if you experience sharp pain, then go see a doctor because you might have a rupture. But pain is not the only thing that matters. You also need full strength, good range of motion, good jumping ability, and good strength on both legs. Now, here's another key rule. Heavy tendon work needs more rest. After a hard session, your tendon may need 2 to 3 days to recover fully. And that's even though your muscles are fully ready. Because of this, we split training into 3 different levels. Light training that can be done daily, medium training that need about 2 recovery days after, and hard training that need about 3 recovery days after. Then we build a weekly plan that mixes them with not too many hard days and enough recovery so we don't get injured again. During this phase, we need to track everything. So write down your pain, your stiffness, and how a hard session felt on your Achilles. This helps you avoid doing too much too soon. But what about insoles? Do they help, or are they just a waste of money? According to the review, no recommendations can be made for orthotics, and there is no difference between custom and generic orthotics. It also had no effect in reducing pain. Now, I will say from personal experience working with runners of all levels that some people do find that insoles help them quite a lot. But I think it's important not to rely on them, because if you use insoles over time, your Achilles will shorten and you need bigger insoles. Now, this is a great business model, but probably not the best for your health. So, if you use insoles, my recommendation would be to use them in the recovery phase to manage your pain, but with the goal of becoming strong enough to get rid of them again. Now, another thing that I did was to get some maximalist shoes. So I got these Nike Vomero Plus shoes. Now, I'm not sponsored or anything, so it could be any maximalist shoe, but it's just a shoe with a big drop. So it helped me manage the pain during my easy runs. Probably because it puts less strain on the Achilles, which there may be some evidence to support. So that was a lot. Here's the TLDR for you. The most simple exercise we can do to fix Achilles pain is heel raises. We just need to do them in a smart and progressive way while we manage our volume and return to running slowly. Do not rush it. And I know it's easier said than done, because even though I know all of this, I have still rushed it and taken way too long to recover. But if you do it the smart way, I've seen people get back to full training within 8 to 12 weeks, but if you don't, it can easily take 6 months or even more. Now, if this video helped you out, consider subscribing. And if you want to know how to actually train to become the best runner you can possibly be, you should watch this video next.